All right, we're in Cisco Secure Network Analytics platform. You can see there's no alarms here. This is a brand new build specifically to catch anything to do with Log4j. I haven't baselined the environment, haven't really done anything. So the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to go ahead and create a Log4j watch list that we're going to capture from Talos. So let's go ahead and create that host group. It's going to be an outside host group. Go ahead and hit add host group. We're going to give it a name. We're going to call it Log4j watch list. Okay, and then we're going to jump to Talos. We're going to scroll all the way to the bottom where they typically have all the indicators of compromise. And if we look here, we'll see the latest and greatest in regards to an IP list, and we can go ahead and capture that. And we can insert it into a text file, do editing, whatever we need to do. I'm going to go ahead and copy it and just paste it in here. And then go ahead and hit save. All right, now we have this host group, and we can use this in multiple different ways. We're going to use it in a custom security event or policy, and we're also going to use it just to do a quick search to see whether or not we have any risk to the environment. So we'll go ahead and create the policy first, just so we have it. We'll give this a name. A lot of times you'll see Cisco prepend this with CSE.log4j. I just calling it Log4j watchlist IPs. We'll go ahead and add an inside host. So anything on the inside of our network talking to a peer host group, the Talos IP addresses that are of concern. We'll go ahead and enable and save this. Now we have that event. Okay, so far so good. Let's go ahead and do a flow query. So we're going to go ahead and do a flow search. We're going to go back a few days, maybe 30 days, whatever it might be. But we're going to capture everything on the inside talking to that Log4j watch list. We'll go ahead and hit apply. We'll change the time frame to 30 days, and we'll go ahead and search. Now remember, this takes flow data in from your environment. So this could be firewalls, this could be switches. All of that feeds the telemetry into the network analytics platform, and then it does its magic around baselining, artificial intelligence around things like encrypted traffic and so on. The good thing is we don't see any events here, so we're clean in regards to that, at least that IP list. But let's give it a test. Let's see if we can actually detect an event. And again, we're going to go ahead and put in an IP address. We're going to trigger the event. Again, this is a contained environment. There's no risk here. And remember, Stealth Watch is out of band, or Secure Network Analytics, as it's known today, is out of band. It's taking flow data, in this case from firepower, and feeding it into the flow collectors, which allows Stealth Watch or Secure Network Analytics the ability to search that data as needed or trigger alerts based on behavior. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do another search here, but we're going to do the last 10 minutes. Again, inside to those Log4j watch lists, and we should see something if things are working correctly here. And the beauty of this, and we did, right port, right destination, this is exactly what we wanted to see. Now, this is a manual search, but this is a good indication of compromise. Now, it's going to catch anything in regards to misconfigurations on firewalls, lateral movement, anything. You can't hide because all of that telemetry or metadata from the networks being shared to Secure Network Analytics. Now you can see here, this is the host summary, so we get a good idea of the host groups, where it's communicating, and any security events that's tied to this specific host. Here we're looking at sources, and we can see that we're certainly have some denied entries, as well as a connection to that watch list that we were looking at. There's some application traffic data, and we can see volume of data as well. Now, when we jump back to the dashboard, we can see that there was a policy violation. Now, this is the policy violation or that security event that we created that triggered this policy violation. So that's pretty neat. So that means we can do things that are really custom in regards to our environment. If we have an operational environment that shouldn't talk to the business network, we can watch for things like that. If you have a PCI network that shouldn't talk to the campus environment, again, we can build host groups to say, watch for any telemetry that comes from the network that suggests that they're communicating. And if they are, trigger an alert. Okay, so far so good. Now let's go back to response management and let's go ahead and create a new rule here. So go add new rule, and we're going to add a host alarm. So let's go ahead and click that. Let's give it a name. Log4j watchlist IPs. Why not? That's what we're looking for. It's enabled. You can put some description in here. And again, it's asking you here, rule is triggered if, in our case, any of the following is true. So we're going to say, in our case, type our custom security event. We're going to send an email when that event triggers. Pretty simple. Beautiful. That looks good. All right, that's pretty simple. Let's go ahead and save that. Next thing we're going to do is go to actions. Now this is the cool thing. Let's go ahead and create a threat response incident and have this automatically sent to SecureX. Again, let's give this a name. You might want to actually add response action maybe to the end of it. High level confidence. We know the IPs are bad. They've been suggested bad from Talos, and that's a trusted entity for us. We'll go ahead and test this to see whether or not it's working and everything is in line to what we expect. We'll save this out. And let's go ahead and jump into SecureX. And look at that. There's our test event here. Okay, so that's good. Everything's working. Let's go back to rules and let's go back into our event and let's assign this to our specific rule that watches for those IP addresses. So what's going to happen here is when an event takes place, we're going to send an email. We're also going to send the event to SecureX. That way you can go right into SecureX, start your investigation to see what's really going on. So let's give this a try. Let's grab a different IP address here. This 92.223.105.173. We'll go ahead and enter it in here. We'll log in to our application. It's going to try to do the LDAP query back to that specific host. And look at that. We've triggered an event. Here it is here from Secure Network Analytics. There's our Log4j watch list. There's that IP address. The severity is high. Now what we can do right from here, we can actually jump into threat response and get a different perspective of what might be going on. We know that this asset made a connection, but what else might be going on? And look at this. Once we zoom in here a little bit, now this is going out and reaching out to all the telemetry sources that it has, firepower, stealth watch, endpoint, email, whatever it might be. And you can see, look at the story here. We've got an endpoint. There's that IP address that it connected to, but we've got a malicious SHA. We can pivot from here. We can do a forensic snapshot. All of that at your fingertips. Pretty cool stuff.